Hello, dear Earthlings. Thank you for coming to my channel and visiting me. Today, we're going to have a video on the November energies. And I'm going to be going over the energy forecast and what to expect. Those of you that don't know me, my name is Elaine Rodriguez, also known as Light of Elaine. I am an intuitive healer, an energy alchemist, and a soul coach here to help you bring awareness and help remove energetic imbalances that get in the way of you living your most fulfilling life. Thank you so much for being here. I am honored that you stopped by. So today we're going to talk about November, but before we go into that, I need to preface with what's taking place in October as we're coming off the second of two eclipses that just took place that is creating a whole quickening and a whole shift in us as we're being redirected onto new paths, and we're closing out a chapter that started a few years ago in November of 2021. So take a moment and think back at what was taking place for you then and know that there is a closure that's happened. We don't like to have change. We're these creatures of habits. We are used to our prior selves, and sometimes we can be resistant to change, but the only way for us to grow and evolve and transform is through change, and it's inevitable, especially if you're on a healing journey and you're being very intentional about your growth. You're going to be experiencing all of this shift inside of you. So we had a solar and a lunar eclipse in October on the 14th and on the 28th, which is just a few days ago. Today I'm filming this on Halloween, Samhain. It may not go out until tomorrow, November 1st, but I want you to recap. So they were both in Venus, the sign of love, money, and value. Venus is very intentional about the things that are important to us. So relationships, money, finances, those are all hot topics, right? Because like the world can't go around without those two. So we had a new beginning, a strengthening in love, a strengthening in relationships, other relationships like just fizzling out. And then this lunar eclipse just a few days ago, it was creating an ending, a shift. And sometimes it's like a out of nowhere situation, because the planet of Uranus, which is also the great awakening planet, has been making massive strides as it's still in retrograde. So speaking of retrogrades, we have another planet that's coming direct on November 4th, and that's Saturn. The Saturn is the law of karma, the parent planet of discipline and structure that wants to keep us in order. That planet is going direct. So when a planet is in retrograde, it's kind of slowing down what it normally does. But when it goes direct, that means it's full on. So last month we had Pluto, the planet of death and rebirth, go direct. And then we got into this massive war that's taking place, which you know about, and I'm not going to speak about it. But it's very interesting how things happen. Remember that we have a huge shift taking place from this planet of Pluto leaving Capricorn for the past 20 years and is moving into the Aquarius. So we're going through this Pluto return, massive shifts as a whole. So if you do not think that these impact you in any way, you're mistaken, because we are energetic beings and we are highly influenced by the planetary shifts. So we have Saturn coming through, going direct. We still have the beautiful Jupiter, which is the beautiful love and luck and expansion planet and good fortune that's in Taurus, that loves all the great things. So we're going to be experiencing a shift in our monies this month, a positive change. But more importantly, the big thing that you need to know about November is that we're integrating all of the energies from these two eclipses. Wow. eclipses can have an impact 6 months prior and 6 months forward. And Scorpio, the season that we're in right now, is about death and rebirth. Scorpio is connected to three archetypes. The scorpion with the stinger. It's a very deep, profound, emotional, uh, watery planet that is intense and takes no shit and is very, very mysterious, very sexual, um, really, really deep, deep planet. Deep a sign with the planet of Pluto, which is death and rebirth. Then we also have the archetype of the eagle, which is speaking to our higher selves and being able to see things through a higher perspective and to soar high above the adversity. And the last is Phoenix, the Phoenix rising. Scorpio does not play. The Phoenix rising is powerful. It is basically recreating yourself from nothing, from the ashes, from you have to burn yourself down in order to rise back up. And sometimes it's those tower moments that make us make the change that's necessary. And as I tell my clients, in order to have change, the pain of staying the same has to be greater than the pain of change. Because if not, I'll repeat that. The pain of staying in the same has to be greater than the pain of change for change to transpire. So that means that you have to really sink into the pain and know there's no other way but to change. Because if you allow yourself to stay in where you are, it's going to get harder and harder and harder. And during this time of these eclipses, we've been highly triggered. So people that you love, people that you care about, they're going to be the ones to trigger you because spirit is going to need to show you the lessons. And sometimes it takes someone that you love and you care about to be the ones to trigger you. And even soulful connections are the ones triggering you. But if you're doing the work, you realize that it's not about what the person did, it's about what the medicine is that you need to learn. I know that's rough. And when you think about people being a mirror to one another, we don't want to receive the lessons. We want to just get through life and be happy and avoid. And Earth is the school of free will and teachings. We have too much free will in the school that we're in. But if you can take all the lessons that you've learned and apply them to the betterment and the growth of who you are, the better you shall become. So we have November 13th, the new moon in Scorpio, which I already spoke about what Scorpio represents. And it's going to really bring forward what you received during these eclipse seasons. And then we have later this month, Sagittarius season upon us. I believe it's on the 23rd. Hang on one second. On the 20th of November, we switch over to Sagittarius season. So the past few years, we've had eclipses in Taurus and Scorpio, and that has ended. So that's over. We're going to move into more the Aries and Libra combination, which we've already experienced some of that already last month with Libra season and the full moon in Aries. So I'm going to pull some cards, and those of you that follow me and supportive, I just want to say thank you, because sometimes as a healer, and being on this journey, leading others, and having to go through the darkness with you, sometimes it's hard. And I really appreciate those that are sticking it through and hanging on, because it's not easy to lead this kind of mission. And, prior being a bank leader and in corporate my whole life, and turning into this world, it can be like, who is she? And I've grown a lot from moving away from ancestral patterns and family wounding, and it's not easy, but is necessary. So if you're out there resonating with me and you can feel what I just said, know that you're not alone, and that there are many people out there that are willing to support you, aka my LOE Soul Tribe. I have beautiful, beautiful, it was just 11:11, beautiful, beautiful sisters that are there for you. And if you're a masculine, know that that's coming. Um, there are more and more masculines that are stepping up and are trying to also work on themselves. But let's begin. Let's get the energetics for the month of November. First, I'm going to pull some moon cards to see what messages we have, and then I'm going to pull some tarot and end with some ancestral messages. Since this is the month of the ancestors, let's take a look. What messages do we have for the collective? Please and thank you. And if you're feeling my vibe, please subscribe and don't be afraid to share. Okay, nothing is set in stone yet. Things are happening right now. Things are unfolding as we speak from these eclipse energies. 1221. Let's see what messages we have. What do you need to release? This is what Scorpio season's about. The big release. Communication is key. So as we're releasing what no longer serves us, you're going to have opportunities to express your higher truth and self. And it may be scary at times, but the people that are meant to be in your life are going to understand, and they're going to get it. The answers you need are coming. So those of you that are waiting some information or in a state of conflict, know that very soon you're going to receive the answers. But you need to be very in sync with yourself as to what you need to release, and allow yourself to communicate what it is. That can be through journaling, that can be through singing, that can be through speaking to a beloved, that can be many ways. So there are some blocks. We have Six of Swords energy, some blocks that we need to remove to create peace of mind. And the season of Scorpio is like the best time to do that. It's really supportive. Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so as you're removing these blocks, you want to start investing in a new area of your life, your new energy, new money. So remember, when you're cleaning out your closet, you are creating space for new clothes. It's the same thing with energy. You are releasing to create space for new to come in. So what are you going to allow to come in after your release? New money, new energy, new life, new opportunities. This is the cycle of death and rebirth. Release, and then bring new. Nine of Cups, emotional fulfillment. This speaks to, you can do this by yourself, for yourself, with your tribe. You don't need someone to complete you. You are the Nine of Pentacles. You can achieve all that you want in your wholeness. We healed a lot of codependency themes back in October, um, with Libra being in our South Node, because Libra is all about partnerships. But the shadow aspect of Libra is codependency. So we want to know that we don't need anyone to be reliant upon, to depend upon. We want interdependent relationships that are healthy for you. And you walked away from something big this past month. It was very emotionally draining. It was very scary. Um, the letting go is not easy. So I want to acknowledge whatever you walked away from, whatever you released. I see you. I feel you. I know it wasn't easy, but even if you're about to walk away with something, you know that it's important for your best growth and your higher self. There's also memories and situations of the past that had come through this past month. I know with me, I started seeing someone more exclusively, and like right before I did that, like all these people showed up from the past, and I'm like, where it's coming from? And the same thing with my business. Other opportunities started to reveal themselves, and it's sometimes we're being tested so that we can see like what is it that you really, where your heart is, where your soul is, and you are not going backwards, you're going forwards. Then we have the Ace of Swords. So we're ready for this important new beginning, important information that is revealed to us so that we can move forward. I love that. I love that. I love that. So we have a removal, removing what's not in peace in our lives, investing in new times. We are connecting to what brings us emotional fulfillment. We're embodying what um, we're capable of doing. We're reviewing past stuff in order to charge forward into new information for a new start. So we have the answers that are coming, we have the release, we have the communication, we're ready to rock. All right, let's see what the ancestors have for us. Ancestors, our beautiful, beloved ancestors that are watching over us alongside our spirit guides and our angels, um, and our beautiful soul family that's here on earth with us. Shout out to my soul family. Love you all. Okay. We have, okay, so our ancestors are giving us intuitive messages, but if we're not paying attention, we're going to miss that. So take note of the intuitive messages that your ancestors are bringing you through songs, through dreams, through symbols, through animals, through sudden things that you did not expect to happen. Okay, what other messages for our collective from our ancestors? We have take time to reflect. Deep introspection this month with Scorpio. Scorpio goes deep, and it's okay to allow the flow to take place and to remember that you could rest and replenish and let the reflections come through you. Let's see what else. I'll pull just two more. Feel loved and be comforted. Self-love is the best love, and you need to honor that. Giving yourself a big hug, giving yourself the pampering that's needed, and choosing to be the light. We have the White Witch card, which is what I represent. I only work with the highest vibrating light and energy, for those of you that may mistaken my work. I only work with the highest energies, and you ought to too. As you stay in alignment, as you raise your vibration, as you hold space for the positive shifts, you are casting your light onto the world. So know that each of us bring a great power and gift in who we are. We are energetic beings living a human experience, spiritual beings, and we have the gift to expand and emanate that beautiful light onto others, to cast it outward. And know that regardless of what's gone on, you too have embodied that light. You are not separated from Source. You're not separated from God and the universe. You too have that beautiful light. So bring that forward. As you go into your darkness, you will find your light and you will be held by the most high vibrations. Thank you all so much for visiting my channel and listening to my message. If you feel connected to this message, please share it with others. Comment by sharing something, what emoji or what archetype you connect with more. Is the Phoenix? Is it the Scorpio? Is it the Eagle? And I'm going to be sending you so much love. Thank you so much for being here. Have a beautiful and fantastic November month. Many blessings your way.